Hi, Patrick here. I have Cheetah with you, and we are here for another film review. Today we will be talking about from 2022. We'll be talking about Brightwood, which was written and directed by Dane Elcar. It is his feature film debut, and the actors are Dana Berger, who some of us you might remember her from Orange Is the New Black and Elementary, and Max Woertendyke, whose work I don't really familiar with, but he's got some impressive credits. One thing I noticed about Max is that he sort of has a resemblance of Paul Giamatti. That's the vibe I got. So I got this film as a screener from our good friend Ray from Cinephobia Releasing. And again, let me just make this perfectly clear. I am so happy he is back. I'm so happy the Cinephobia Releasing is happening. Brightwood is exactly the type of film that I would be getting from Artsploitation, and it would be the type of film that just blows my mind, and Brightwood does that. Brightwood is an awesome movie. Right now, it is the movie of the year for me. All right, so, yep, it is a mind blower. Um, but let's get. I really can't get into it too much without giving it away. But I'm gonna go ahead and mention that it is a horror. It is a sci-fi movie. It is a thriller, and this movie easily could has a sense of a Twilight Zone or a Outer Limits type feel to it for about 90% of the time. The last 10% of it, well, you'll have to experience that for yourself. So the movie basically is it's a story about getting in a rut. Um, uh, and sometimes where that goes. Um, Dana Berger and Max Woertendyke, they play Jen and Dan, and they've been married for quite a long time. They're probably in their late 30s. They've been together for a long time, and they're unhappy, especially Jen. And the movie opens up, and we see Jen is running, and Dan is running with her, but he's a little out of shape, and she's punishing him by running hard, going up steep roads, and then she's going to head to the park to run laps around a pond. He's trying to keep up, but she's pissed. She's pissed. Jen is pissed. She's pissed off at Dan because Dan has just stagnated. Um, he's not really doing anything. He's a borderline alcoholic. He's done during Jen's. There was a social gathering based on her job, and she got reports that Dan was going around hitting up on all the women, including trying to get the private email of a woman who was at least 25 years, well, maybe 20 years, his senior, a co-worker of Jen's. She is not happy. She's makes no bones about that. So they hit the trail to run the lake, and as they're running, suddenly they realize that they've been running for a while, but they keep running past the same spot. And when they turn around to get out of the park, they find themselves unable to. Um, and that's really all I can really tell you about this movie as far as plot goes. But I can tell you I can expound on some other thoughts I had for this film. It is a perfect microcosm of what does happen in a relationship when it gets caught in a rut, where things are just progressing. In a marriage or any relationship, things move forward. They're always moving forward. If you're not moving forward in a relationship constantly, then you're not going to have one. And that could be from someone you just met to someone who's been married for 30 years. You ask anybody who's been married for 30 years, what keeps it going. It isn't familiarity. it's because you're moving forward together. Even as you're aging, you're still moving forward. You find things to do together. You try to you develop other interests. Maybe some interests that you had when you were younger, you're no longer able to do or want to do. So you develop other things while keeping your own identity. Like we see Jen's identity as a go-getter. She's very ambitious. She's in good shape. She's dynamic. Whereas Dan is more of a slub. Whatever job he's doing, he's probably hit the plateau of it. He's not probably going any further than where he's going, and it has started affecting his home life with bad choices. And see, that's the other thing this movie talks about is choices. The choices that you make will come back to you, especially if you don't think them out well. Yeah, that one hit a little home for me because I live with that a lot. And so Dane's story about choices and the choices you make, and maybe you get to make some other choices that can reverse the other ones. Maybe you can't, and that happens a lot too. This is an extraordinarily well written and well acted movie. It's only two characters, and it is and the score of this film. I got to talk about the score of this film. I've talked about it before about how I feel about the music will be moving. It can be really moving a film, like It Follows, a dark song. Those are two movies. The Exorcist, movies where they're half the movie. Jaws, any classic theme music, score music, instantly you hear it. For the music, though, the music is by Jason Cook, and it's extraordinary. It's really, really effective, and it really helps elevate this movie. Not that it needs it, but it does it anyway. Um, and the filming itself, which was also done by Dane, he also did it too. He also did the cinematography. It also is very, very strong and very, very effective. I'm blown away by this being his first film, but then I thought I wasn't quite blown away when I wasn't quite surprised when I found that he had actually made his debut off of a short film that he did called The Pond, which I'm sure is basically that's where this movie's based out of, off the short. Now, sometimes a short film can become a feature length film and can do it really, really well. More often than not, it's not, like Cargo, which I mentioned here before. Cargo was an excellent short film. They tried to stretch it into a feature film, changed the cast, and it did not work. That happens. But for this film, it definitely works, and it's the right length. It's an hour and 25 minutes long, and seriously, you could not get another 10 seconds out of this movie at all. It is right where it needs to be. Um, this is extraordinary, a debut for Dane Elcar. He is definitely going to be a director to keep an eye on, especially a story writer as well. He's got his thumb right on the pulse of what he wants, of the story he wants to tell. This is a very this movie has it does have some humor in it, and he's not afraid to show a little humor in the situation. And the twist at the end, it's a little bit jarring, but I think it needed to be because that's basically what a relationship is. When you find out that relationship isn't going anywhere, if one partner's frustrated and the other doesn't realize it, that in itself is a jarring. It's a jar. Look at people who get divorced and they don't know they're getting divorced. All of a sudden, it's like their partner wakes up and says, "I don't want to be with you anymore." And it's such a surprise because a lot of times, a lot of people think that they're doing fine, and in this case, that's what happens here. And it's not the case. And the fallout from that catches Dan really by surprise, and he has no really idea what to do about it. And Jen, she's been bottled up for so long that she should have spoke up sooner, and she's having crazy regrets because they mentioned how much time they spent together, and she says, too much fucking time. Too stupid, too long. Um, so this movie will be coming out. It played the festivals in 2022. It did win some awards. It was nominated for some awards and it won a couple of awards. This will be coming out on video on demand and also physical release. Artsploitation and now Cinephobia Releasing. They're very much about physical media. I do believe that everything that Cinephobia will be releasing will be a physical copy, so you will be able to get this movie. And I'll put that down in the box below, in the description box below, where you can get this movie at. It will be released on August 22nd. So, and I will be reminding you about that too, because this is an extraordinary movie. And so far, like I said, this is the movie of the year for me so far. But I'm not really surprised because Ray, who owns Artsploitation, also Cinephobia, it's not a surprise. The movies that he picks, that he puts on his releasing, are easily on the same level, on the same par, and the same respect from me as anything that ISC releases. It's extraordinary. He's got such a great ear and a great eye for cinema, and I can't recommend Brightwood enough. All right, that's my review. If you are curious about Brightwood, I will see if there's a trailer out for it. I do believe there is. I will go ahead and put that in the description box, as long as all the Cinephobia Releasing social media, website, and all that good stuff. Remember, this is our second film that we reviewed so far for Cinephobia. My review for Amor Bandido is out. That's a fine film from Argentina. That is out on my YouTube channel, and I will throw that link in here as well, so you can see, so you can get a glimpse of what's going on with Cinephobia. Bring on some new ones, Ray. I'm ready. So glad to have you back, my friend. We will talk at you soon. Thank you for watching this review. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Hit the notification bell, let you know whenever I'm doing something new. I also have a bunch of new interviews that are coming up on the channel. You can hit all those with the notify me, and you will be notified when I go live with a Questions With. And yes, rest assured that this person here, me right here, I will be asking to talk to Dane Elcar. I really want to talk to this filmmaker, and I'll let you know if it happens. All right, well, thanks so much, and we will talk at you soon. Peace.